Still standing, Rambler's emblem. There were nights the sky fell down on me, storm clouds where the light should be. Every road felt cracked and worn, every sunrise battle torn. But 1,000 voices in the dark, little tiny little spark. When I thought the flame was gone, you were there to carry on. When the world said walk away, when the weight was mine to break, you were right there calling my name. We're still standing in the fire, voices wiring higher and higher. Through the ashes, through the pain, we keep dancing in the rain. They're trying to knock us off our feet, but this heart will never retreat. Every rambler, every soul, you're the reason I'm still home. We're still standing, still fighting, still lighting up the night. Every story that we share, every truth laid in the air, every time we stand our ground, truth is louder than the crowd. They can throw their stones and lies, but they'll never dim our skies. 'Cause together we can shine like a million sparks combined. When the road was way too steep, you were lifting me to my feet. Now the whole world hears our sound. Standing in the fire, voices rising higher and higher. Through the ashes, through the pain, we keep dancing in the rain. Trying to knock us off our feet, but this heart will never retreat. Every rambler, every soul, you're the reason I'm still home. We're still standing, still fighting, still lighting up the night. I've seen the darkest nights, but you were the light. 1,000 hearts beating strong. When the world turned cold, you helped me hold on. When the road felt too long, this isn't just a voice online. This is family standing side by side. We're still standing in the fire, voices rising higher and higher. Through the ashes, through the pain, we keep dancing in the rain. Every star became a spark, lighting up the darkest star. Every rambler standing tall, together we survived it all. We're still standing, still rising, still burning bright tonight. Through the storms, through the fight, ramblers shining like a light, and I'm still here because of you.
Hello. All right, hopefully you can hear me. I'm just gonna hit the mic. Hold on one sec. Let me just do the mic. So okay, hopefully you can hear me now. Let me get on the camera here, and there we go. All right, let's see who's here. Let me find the chat. Okay, so I think, no, this is my chat here. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. Let me get on the... Okay, so you say she's deceased and they haven't found her body yet. Well, I think a lot of people agree with you on that, right? I think a lot of people agree on that. Yeah, a lot of people agree on that. Now, we're going to talk about certain things like the FBI is backtracking. And let me get my thing here so I can. Okay, so the dates on the porch footage here. Now they're looking for key dates. It's January 11th and January 24th, and they're backtracking, and they're asking the questions to the neighbors that they probably should have asked a very long time ago. And this just puts out that they are probably just back at square one. And today is day 46, and that's pretty significant, because I said if they get to the date of Koperger's arrest, which was 46 days from the murders, and they haven't found anyone, then I'm going to say that I really do think this is headed to cold case territory. And I will clearly say that now. Now, maybe that'll spur an arrest tomorrow. Who knows? But what I can say is that they are questioning neighbors. Now, what about Nancy's Facebook being hacked? Well, apparently Nancy, who used Facebook a lot, she posted pictures of her flowers and mountain lions in the back of, I don't know if they're mountain lions or some other big kind of cat. Is it a mountain? I'd be scared to death. Bobcats in the back of Annie's house and stuff like that. Her garden, when her gardens got eaten by the javelinas and stuff like that. She would post that on Facebook. She would post their Christmas photos. She would post Annie baking with her son. She would post, Savannah and her. She would just post a lot of stuff, personal stuff on her Facebook, and her Facebook was not locked down. Well, apparently a few times it was hacked. Now, to the point of what being hacked? Was it one of those little hacks that, you see sometimes you get a friend request from someone on Facebook that you're already friends with, and you're like, wait a minute. And you're like, hey, someone's got a new account of yours and they're going around with it and trying to friend your friends. Yeah, it could be something as simple as that. But I guess somebody remembering that Nancy's Facebook was hacked in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. Okay, well, it was hacked. All right. So I don't think that has much to do with anything, but I just thought I'd report it, right? Okay. So we've got the FBI is back questioning the neighbors about those dates, about their cameras, about people that are seen, because here's what they're finding, that I guess this footage, there's photos from February 11th, February 24th, and of course February 1st, which all fall on weekends. They don't all fall on Saturdays, but they all fall on weekend days. So, the rental home mystery, okay? Rental home, Airbnb, whatever you want to call it in the area, was very abruptly vacated after Nancy went missing. Could there be some kind of link there? Well, we don't really know that. But we don't know that there's not. It's a little late to kind of start thinking about that, isn't it? But I'm sure there's records, but you don't want like a witch hunt just because they don't really have a lot to go on. But anyway, yeah, one of the things there that we've got is that rental home. The next thing they're looking at are construction crews. What construction crews were in the area? What kind of vantage viewpoint did they have? Okay, because if they're up on a roof, if it's a 2-story house, what kind of viewpoint did they have over at Nancy's? So we've got construction crews. Now, again, to go and start canvassing for all those people, it seems like they missed the mark there, huh? A little bit? Yeah, you think so? Okay. What does it mean to you? 46 days and they're back to this. 46 days and we're back here. 46 days, and we talked earlier this afternoon about the sheriff recall done by that person running for Congress. Is trying to collect 135,000 signatures to get Sheriff Nanos to either resign or, get out of the office. We also talked about, what else did we talk about this afternoon? The dates of that camera stuff and, different motives. What about a targeted item? Are they going in for a targeted item? I gave you my theory. Hi, Millie. What did the person who took her get out of this? No money, nothing. Exactly, which is you. Hey, you came in at the right point, unless it was revenge for the thrill of it. You're coming in. Here's what I think, Millie. If you want my opinion, and maybe you do, I believe it was a hit and nothing but a hit. Somebody wanted Nancy out of the way. They weren't interested in her money, in her car, in her jewelry, in stealing something from her house. She was either a hindrance to them in some way. People ask me what way. And maybe people really don't get it, that because the gentleman that called in, he's like, well, people really snap like that? We cover true crime every day. People are killing people over you accidentally get in their lane on the highway. Now, before, they used to give you the finger. Now, somebody may just pull a gun and put a bullet in your head. Seriously, people are getting killed for that kind of stuff. You took somebody's parking space that they wanted at the Target. They've killed for that. So, do I find it unfathomable that we don't know how active Nancy was in her community? Now, we know she's not running races and marathons because she has a hard time walking 50 yards, right? So, okay. But what about something political? What about some project that was trying to get through there? Are there projects that they were trying to get through? Was she a vocal opponent or supporter of something somebody didn't want through? I don't know. There's a lot of reasons that somebody could want someone gone. So, right? That's what I think. And I think whoever did it, now you might say, okay, well, they've got to be connected to the area if they were casing the place. Yeah, that's a possibility. They could be connected to the area if they're casing the place on the 11th and the 24th. But it could also be that they're not in the area, and that's why they're doing it on the weekend, because they're somewhere else all week. You could play that one either way. Why the big gap between them coming up? Why are they coming up 3 weekends in a row, right? Why are they doing that? So you could play that one either way you want as well. Or, were they in the area? Were they staying in this rental house? Were they a construction worker? Did they leave? But I think any way you take it, I do not believe it was a burglary gone wrong. I do not believe it was done for ransom, because I think those ransom notes were completely bogus. And I just think it was a hit on her. I think there's somebody that didn't like her very much and didn't want her around. and for whatever reason, thought there'd be an easy way just to get her out of the way. And like I said, it could have been somebody that wanted to buy her house. It could have been somebody that wanted some kind of a project in, and she was voting against it, or she was going to come out against it. Could it just be so much that she ticked a neighbor off and they're carrying this around? And believe me, that does happen. Okay? We see people carrying stuff around for a lot of years. I don't know. Maybe something just set them off. Okay? Maybe it was the Tucson piece. Maybe that brought them into their radar again. About, oh, there she is, you know, she ticked me off about that. She voted against me, blah, 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 at this project. I never got that project through. Could be something from a long time ago, okay, that they feel might have ruined their life. So, I don't know, lots of things there. Now, I'm just waiting on some. The Koning trial starts tomorrow, and I do want to go briefly over that. Okay, so somebody wants me to call them right now in the newsroom. Can you guys just hang for me for 1 minute? I've got to call this woman in the newsroom right now. This is about the trial, okay? Hang on a minute. I have to call her in Hawaii. Huh. So nice dealing with Hawaii right now. Hang on. I'll be right there, okay? Do you want me to put on... Let me... Okay, hold on. I'll be right there. It's going to take a second. I left my phone upstairs. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, those people in Hawaii are so nice. She is like, call me anytime. I'm like, what time is it for you there? And she's like, it's 5:40. I said, oh, okay. But anyway, we're trying to get the link, let me tell you, for this court camera. And they do not do things. I almost want to say they don't do things the way we do in the United States, but I guess I should say the lower 48. But they do it very, very different there. Very different. Because normally what happens is we get a link, we have to apply, we fill out a form, the court approves us to stream, and then we get a link or we get a WebEx camera or something. And what they're doing now, they don't do that in Hawaii. So she goes, do you have your, a person in Hawaii? I wish I did. I'll be there. She goes, because I'll give you the whole drive to this. And then I said, no, I would like the link. And then so we found out it is someone, I have another email, so hopefully that'll all pan out. And she told me, don't worry, we'll take care of it one way or another. So anyway, if we do have it, court would start at 3 o'clock our time, my time, Eastern time, because it's 9 o'clock Hawaii time. Anyway, let's worry about that. We'll hopefully get that resolved up by tomorrow sometime. I've got so many things going on right now you wouldn't even believe. Okay, but back to Nancy. So where were we? That's my theory. It's a hit. That's my theory. It's the only thing that makes sense. I don't think it's some kind of essay. I don't think it's some kind of burglary gone bad. I don't think that ransom at all was for real. I don't think, if anything, yeah, maybe the ransom was a ruse to have somebody look the other way. And I think when people say, but why did, how come Savannah's family treated it like it was real, but they didn't give the ransom money? And I think they might have been told by the FBI to make it look like they thought it was real, not to tip off the real suspect. Okay? That's what I think. Can you guys can hear me, right? Hello, you can hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. I get like paranoia about not being heard. Okay. Yes, thank you. Okay. So, James, who's, I believe his screen name is Jason Bourne. I didn't get a chance to email you, but you were asked to come up and call in. Anybody that would like to call in and talk about this. But I do want to tell you a little bit about the Koenig trial that is starting tomorrow. Okay? And maybe you'll remember it because I did cover this when this happened. But opening statements are set to begin tomorrow morning. And this is the doctor. You know what's so funny? He kind of looks like that doctor that, why is his face so big? That doctor in Ohio. Come over here. We've got to make your face smaller. It's ridiculously big. Not so much from that angle, but when you see, remember that doctor had that like very squarish face? He kind of has that. They look like they could be brothers, maybe. Anyway, I got the email that they sat the jury, and it's scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. on March 19th, which is Ray's birthday. March 19th, my son's birthday. Coming up here now, let's see. Hold on, because I had something here, and now I don't know what the heck. Oh, there it is. Hold on one second. Anyway, let me go over here and tell you a little bit about this. This is Gerard Koenig. On March 24th, 2025, this went so quick to trial. He is accused of attempting to push his wife, Ariel Koenig, off the Oahu hike. He allegedly, when he couldn't do that and she tried to get away, he pushed her into some bushes. And then he started hitting her on the head with a rock several times. And then he tried to inject her with a syringe. Okay, I believe he had 2 syringes. 2 women that were on the hike heard this. They started running towards him. And then he ran away. And then she filed for divorce shortly after that. She told of abuse and all kinds of stuff after that. So that he is going to trial tomorrow. I was thinking he was going to take a last minute plea, but because I don't know what what they're going to say about this. This is kind of strange. But let me see here. Ariel alleged that she was on the Palipuka Trail in Oahu, and she didn't feel comfortable. Stop it, Mr. Ad. Being close to the edge, so she said no, and she started to walk away. He yelled at her to come back, and when she refused, he pushed her into the bushes. As he was pushing her towards the cliff's edge, he was yelling something, "Get back over there, I'm so effing sick of you," according to court documents. Then Ariel said he hit her in the head with a rock about 10 times while grabbing the back of her head and smashing her face into the ground. So all from the court documents. She then said she saw her husband take 2 syringes from his bag and attempt to use them on her, but she was able to get away from him. Another hiker intervened, and Ariel told the hiker, "He is trying to kill me." He was arrested and charged with second-degree attempted murder. Ariel said she suffered a broken thumb, bruising on her head and body, several lacerations to her face and scalp. She was hospitalized. They live with their 2 sons, ages 4 and 2 at the time. 3 days after the attack, Ariel Koenig filed a petition for a temporary restraining order. She wrote in that document, "I am fearful that if Gerard is released from custody, he will return to Maui and attempt to harm or kill me, as well as harm or kill our children or other family members." She said in December that he was accusing her of having an affair, which led to extreme jealousy on his part and led him to try to control and monitor all types of her communications. She said they went to individual and couples counseling. So that is the trial that starts tomorrow, which I think will be pretty interesting. I don't know how long it's supposed to last. His attorney, Thomas Otaki, said there are 2 sides to every story, and thus far only one side has been shared. The other side to this story will be shared within the court process at the appropriate time. And he is an anesthesiologist, so yeah. So that is what is starting tomorrow. Just wanted to tell you, and I'm hoping that we are going to be bringing you live coverage. Is what I really want to be doing. Okay? All right. Hi, One Eye. How are you? How's it going? Are you guys interested in that? Hi, Dookie. Bling's here. Bling's blinging. Well, if we cover it, it starts at 9 Hawaii time, which is 6 hours behind us. So it would be, 3 o'clock our time? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock Eastern time. So let me know if that sounds interesting, and I really hope that we'll be able to get the feed. Does that sound like an interesting trial to anyone? Anybody, anywhere? Don't all speak at once now. Sounds good to you? Okay, so let's hope we can get it. I really do want to cover that trial because we did cover that when it happened. And that's going to trial pretty fast. I don't know how long it's supposed to last. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know that I've ever seen a trial in Hawaii. Have you? I don't know. Maybe I have. Who knows? Lori Vallow was in Hawaii, but she wasn't tried in Hawaii. We saw she got arrested in Hawaii, right? Anyway, so what are you thinking about? Does anybody have any other theories on, is it going to be a cold case for, is it done deal now for Nancy Guthrie? It's 46 days. They look like they're back to ground zero again. Is it just something that won't be solved? I'm starting to feel like that, but then the darkest hours right before dawn. A lot of times when you're like at your wit's end, right? And you're like, oh, and then something comes through, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. There were a couple of other things too that I want to talk about. We'll take some callers if anybody wants to call in and talk about it. I know there was a calls out for James, if James is around. But let's see what else we've got here, because there were some other things I wanted to tell you about this afternoon that I saw. A murdered influencer, what do we have here? May have been buried alive in a suitcase after texting pals about a creep in the stairwell. Yikes. That's an influencer from Australia. She might have been buried alive in a suitcase after texting friends about a creep in a stairwell. Creepy, creepy in the stairwell. Let's see. Stephanie Piper, 32 years old, an Australian influencer, was stuffed into a suitcase and then buried, might have been alive and fighting for her life, with a sick killer who tried to hide her remains. She had injuries on her face that could have come from attempting to try to get out of that suitcase when she was buried last year. It's quite possible she was still alive when she was placed in that suitcase, according to the prosecutor's office. The autopsy could not definitively determine when the young woman died. It says it's equally possible that she was killed by strangulation beforehand. Her body was found about a week after she was believed to be killed. Investigators initially ruled that she was strangled and suffocated to death. She was last seen alive at a Christmas party on November 23rd when she left and sent a friend a series of eerie texts that warned of a creep in a stairwell. She didn't show up for a photo shoot on the next day, and that photographer then decided to go to her apartment to check in on her. He notified the police when she wasn't there. Her 31-year-old ex-boyfriend, identified as Patrick M., was quickly arrested and questioned. Police went to a spot in the Slovenian forest where her body was ultimately uncovered. The ex reportedly confessed to the murder, and with an attorney claiming he was high on cocaine at the time, and he is very despondent by his actions. and completely broken, according to this attorney, and deeply regrets his crime. He can't understand how he could have been capable of killing the woman he loved more than anything. Yeah, okay. He was extradited to Austria after being arrested in Slovenia, and he remains in custody. And did I say she was Australian? She's Austrian. I'm very sorry. I should put my glasses on a little more. She's Austrian, not Australian. Austria. Austria. Okay. So, yep. Slovenia, buried in a suitcase. Very sad. Not nice. Holly, remember Holly from The Price is Right? She said Bob Barker forced her into early retirement. Barker's girls. Holly Hallstrom. She was one of Barker's beauties. That's what they were. Barker's beauties from 1977 to 1995. And she was fired due to her weight in 1995. But she felt it was retribution for the handling of the game show's other scandals. They're saying that they're having they have a 2-part docu-series about The Price is Right. And I thought Scooter was playing a game about The Price is Right. But let me see where this is going to be. Where is this being aired? Okay, it's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels on Ease, the Entertainment Night. 2-part episode telling the story of The Price is Right behind the scenes. And you know what I should put? Let me put this up. So she was 1977 to 1995. And then she got fired because she gained some weight. She opens up about the events that led to her getting fired after nearly 20 years as one of Barker's beauties. She, let's see, Diane. Remember Diane? Remember all these names? Diane? Diane had an affair with Bob Barker. And then she went on to sue him for sexual harassment. And then that led to the other employees being asked to testify under oath about the environment behind the scenes. Every time you went to the studio, you had to sit with lawyers who all wanted to hear was all the bad stuff about Diane and how Bob could not possibly have sexually harassed Diane. I want nothing to do with it, Holly said. I was the only one that was asked to give a deposition and did not. I didn't want to commit felony perjury, which is exactly what it would have been if I gave testimony. She said so she refused to testify in court. She wasn't going to commit felony perjury for him, and that was the final straw. But it's against the law to fire someone for that, so they couldn't fire her for that. So instead, he said, you're overweight, and that's why you're off the show. You're overweight, you're off the show. She was not surprised that he used that as an excuse. But she was told when asked why she was fired is because her weight is a problem. And after that lawsuit, Bob Barker began to experience public fallout for the first time in his life, and it caused him to then act irrationally. He experienced a bombardment of hate mail for the first time ever, and he went out and told everyone that she was lying and the weight was never mentioned, and it became absolute insanity. She says, how can that be that she wasn't fired because of her weight, because she was cut out of 50% of the show. And when she was on camera, she was hidden away behind automobiles and large appliances because of her weight. Then that Diane finally dropped her lawsuit, and that's the last day that Set saw Diane, and she has never talked to her again. Bob Barker is not alive anymore, right? So then he filed a lawsuit against her. Oh, a big mess it sounds like, you know? A big mess. Apparently he became an egomaniac after his wife's death, Bob Barker. An egomaniac after his wife's death. All right, let's see. We're going to get back on Nancy in just a minute. We're just trying to, you know, there's just more than Nancy Guthrie. Now, there was a cold case that was solved recently. A glamorous realtor's murder was solved after 15 years. And it's a female suspect that was arrested. Let's see, this was Iowa, right? And the realtor, let's see, this is the realtor, Ashley Oakland, 27 years old. And she was shot twice and died on April 8th, 2011. She was at a model townhome hosting an open house. So it was a cold case, and the killer's motive remained a mystery. On Wednesday morning, the West Des Moines Police Department announced that it had charged Kristen Elizabeth Ramsey, 53 years old, with the first-degree murder for the murder of 27-year-old Ashley Oakland in 2011. On April 8th of that year, Oakland was shot twice in that model townhouse where she was hosting an open house. An employee with Rutland Homes, who was the developer of the property, they heard a commotion outside the townhouse. They went to investigate, and they found Oakland with her dying with fatal wounds, called 911, but she didn't survive. Ashley's story has kept many of us awake at night, said the police chief Jody Hayes. Searching for that missing piece that would tie everything together led us down the right path to identifying the person responsible. And this is the person responsible right here. That's Kristen Elizabeth Ramsey, 53. They're unable to keep the integrity of the investigation to release any additional information, but at the time, this Kristen Ramsey worked as an administrative assistant and sales manager for Rutland Homes. I wonder if it had something to do with somebody's husband or boyfriend straying or something. I don't know. It is therefore possible the two women knew each other, but police did not share Ramsey's suspected motive, right? The break came years after it happened. Her family members were worried the case had gone cold and would never be solved. At a press conference on Wednesday, Oakland's brother Josh thanked the police for continuing to investigate this. Today is a day my family has thought about over the last 14 years. Her sister said she was worried the case had gone cold. We had lost our hope in finding any answers. No one should ever get away with murder. Family deserves answers. Ashley Oakland's obituary described her as a beautiful girl inside and out who enjoyed traveling, concerts, golfing, exercising, and just being busy. Ramsey's being held in the Dallas County Jail on a $2 million cash-only bond. If convicted, she will face life in prison without the possibility of parole. There is no death penalty in Iowa. So that's an interesting case. What do you think the tie is there? I think probably has something to do with somebody straying. Let's see. Thought I now they say Savannah Guthrie is confronting outrageous claims in the family disappearance. Let's see what she's saying. She has spoken out vehemently about what she calls outrageous claims circulating about her brother-in-law. She says while the specifics remain unverified, they are not the focus here. Their existence has added immense pressure and emotional strain on the family, especially in the public eye, she said when certain claims began to circulate, which she has described as outrageous. She did not shy away from addressing the claims publicly and emotionally defending her brother-in-law. Her statements, impassioned, reveal the profound personal toll of protecting loved ones under intense pressure, public media scrutiny, and demonstrating her unwavering resolve, right? The family faces the dual burden of private grief over Nancy's disappearance and the relentless public scrutiny fueled by speculation. Savannah's experience highlights the immense challenge that public figures face when navigating intensely private, personal tragedies under the harsh glare of the spotlight. So that's not too much. What do we have here? O'Connell. Okay. FBI Special Agent Maureen O'Connell has some things to say. She said, I really hate being critical of my fellow law enforcement officers, but I just don't know what to think about Nanos. My understanding from reporting that Megyn Kelly did the other day that he had something like a 95% disapproval rating before this case, which is pretty shocking. So if those people feel it's time for him to go, it might just be time for him to go. It's unfortunate, but I don't know. Is it time for him to go? So there's a recall of him. The effort is launched to March 12th. The Pima County Elections Department confirmed among gathering signatures with the goal of removing Nanos from office is Daniel Gutierrez, a Republican congressional candidate in Arizona, with more than 120,000 signatures that must be collected in 120 days. And he says he's going to do 135, he says. Oh, I know, and this is another, is this the one that, Florida? Okay, we have a execution that happened today. No, it's Texas, but there was another one in Florida, I believe, too. Before his execution this week, a Texas man apologized through tears to the relatives of the young mother and 8-year-old boy that he stabbed to death back in 2013. Cedric Ricks was put to death on Tuesday, March 17th, for the capital murders of Roxanne Sanchez, 30, and her son, Anthony Figueroa. Ricks, 51, received a lethal dose of the sedative pentobarbital at the state penitentiary in Huntsville. Jurors found him guilty of the May 2013 killings inside the apartment they shared in Bedford. Sanchez and Ricks were in a relationship. In addition to the murders, Ricks also stabbed Sanchez's 12-year-old son Marcus Figueroa 25 times. The boy survived, acting like he was dead. 7 bereaved relatives, including Marcus, watched Ricks die. Strapped to a gurney, he started to cry when asked for his last words. "I want to say that I'm sorry for taking Roxanne and Anthony from y'all. I'm glad to be able to speak to tell y'all that face to face." Marcus, who still has scarring to the back of his neck from the attack, was unmoved, according to accounts. Ricks also said he hoped one day his victims' relatives would be able to forgive him for his abhorrent actions. He also addressed Marcus directly and said he was sorry for taking his mother and brother. "I always thought about you, and I'm sorry that I took your mom and your brother away. I hate that you had to experience that. I just can't imagine, but I'm truly sorry for what I've done, and I wish you all peace and joy as much as you can, but I'm sorry, that's all I can say." He said he was hoping to be reunited with Sanchez and her son in heaven so he could tell them, "I'm sorry, face to face. I hope you all go in peace. I really do. I'm sorry." The shot was administered, and not even 30 minutes later, Ricks was dead. He did not appeal his sentence. He did appeal his sentence to no avail. Earlier in the week, Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles denied his request for a 90-day reprieve. Okay, and I think there was somebody with, I really thought there was also a Florida man. Bob Barker went into. Let's see. Kevin Bacon lost most of his fortune to Bernie Madoff. Did you get that? Wow. Okay, and now the FBI, let's talk a little bit. So we will put our Nancy Guthrie in between other stories here. Nancy Guthrie, let's change our graphics so we know it's Nancy Guthrie. So I told you the FBI is asking specifically for names of contractors and workers who were working in the neighborhood on homes that were in construction, and there are several in construction in her neighborhood. And one neighbor texted Brian Enton about what happened to them, and they said, "I wanted to tell you that the FBI came over, had some more questions about some things I saw. They also called my friend who's building a house down the street. They wanted to know all of the workers and the contractors at that house. Leads me to the conclusion they are no further along than day 2. Exactly. That's what it sounds like. Steve Moore, a former FBI special agent, was a guest on that show and said he leads him to believe that they're retracing their steps, and went on to compare it to the process that someone might go through if they've misplaced their car keys. You walk through the house or apartment, and you look for where you usually leave them. They're not there. Then you go back. You have to retrace, and you have to say, hey, what pants was I wearing? Where's my purse? Or maybe I put it here, and you go to the second level. He added the person might then begin to look into places they weren't as obvious during the first round of searching, like under couch cushions. So they are now obviously to the point where they are pulling up those cushions on the couch. And I think that would explain why they are not actually at day 2. I understand why it seems that way, but they are where they would have been if all normal searches didn't work. Okay, so now there's the construction thing, right? And another ex-FBI agent believes that there's a significant detail that's been overlooked. Okay, so Dr. Ann Burgess, criminal profiler, has suggested that there is absolutely a chance that whoever kidnapped Nancy could strike again. And Dr. Ann Burgess has suggested that a chilling personal motive may have driven the suspected kidnapper, even though Nanos said it was, they could strike anyone. Now, FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffendorfer disagrees, saying that the unidentified perpetrator may have previously attempted a comparable crime in the vicinity. A couple in their 60s experienced a harrowing home invasion just days prior to Nancy's disappearance. They were abducted, they were tied up, they were beaten, and the attackers demanded Bitcoin about an hour and a half from Nancy in January, just north of her house in Scottsdale. Wow. What are the statistics that 2 high-value targets are targeted within an hour and a half of each other? Coffendorfer believes the FBI will thoroughly examine this separate incident, even if only to eliminate the potential link between the 2 attacks. Then there was a Chilean gang who targeted celebrities in Los Angeles. They were apprehended last year after pilfering over $2 million in cash and jewelry from residences of stars like Keanu Reeves and Travis Kelce. Maybe a similar organized crime syndicate could be targeting affluent individuals in Arizona. This is all Coffendorfer. Now, for that couple in Scottsdale, the suspects were 16 and 17. They had driven from California to a residence in Scottsdale, Arizona. They posed as delivery drivers to gain access, and there they demanded $66 million in cryptocurrency. Following the arrest, both suspects pled not guilty to several felony charges, including second-degree burglary, kidnapping, and aggravated assault. 2 California teens were arrested for a home invasion after driving 600 miles to kidnap a family they believed to be worth millions. So they can't, yeah. This is the captivating part. There was a puppeteer that used the Signal app to guide the perpetrators from afar. So bad guys are recruiting idiots to kidnap people they believe are rich and demand cryptocurrency. Could this scheme somehow be related? And she says if she was the case agent, she'd be all over that. Okay. She dismisses the notion that Nancy's disappearance was a burglary gone wrong. She says, I very much believe this was not a burglary. You don't go to a burglary with a full backpack. You do not leave from a burglary with a person You do not leave from a burglary with the person in the house. That doesn't happen. The kidnappers have yet to provide the Guthrie family with any proof that Nancy's still alive. Okay, so that's interesting about that Scottsdale case. Right? Vegas teachers facing charges for pretending to stab kids in class. That sounds fun, right? Pretending to stab kids in class. Oh, that doesn't cause any trauma. What is that about? Oh my goodness. An elementary school teacher is facing charges in Las Vegas after several students accused him of calling girls gold diggers and pretending to stab another student. On February 25th, a parent called 911 to report that a teacher in Las Vegas had engaged in inappropriate behavior. The teacher was identified as 51-year-old Ka Nam Win. Police responding to the call met with the principal and the assistant principal, where Wynn was employed as a fifth-grade teacher. Students who spoke to police reportedly said that Wynn openly favored female students and would allegedly comment on their bodies and comment on a girl's legs. He also allegedly made weird jokes, including calling the girls in the classroom gold diggers. At least two of the girls in the class told police that Wynn had threatened to chop off their hair if he learned that they were dating any boys at the school. They also alleged the teacher would touch their faces and tell them to rest their weight on him. Girls who spoke to the police reportedly said he would play with their hair. Several of the students told police the alleged behavior made them feel uncomfortable. They did not want to be touched. Other students said that he would play something called the teddy bear game, in which he allegedly pretended to cry until a student came up to him and attempted to comfort him by hugging him. They further claimed that he would get upset if no one stepped up to hug him. During the course of the game, Wynn would allegedly pull students onto his lap and refuse to release them even if they looked uncomfortable. Another instance of alleged bizarre behavior involved a game the teacher played called Knife Tag, in which he would grab a large knife from his classroom closet, turn the lights off, and say, "Let's play tag," before warning the students they had better start running. Students claimed to the police that he would occasionally point the blade at them, and one student claimed that the teacher pretends to stab us. Several students told police the game frightened them. Police searching Wynn's classroom reported that they located the knife in the location described by the children. Mr. Wynn reportedly had a temper in class and would scream at the children. Some students described an incident in which he flipped a student's desk over, stepped on their belongings, and then threw a book at them. Okay. A teacher who spoke to police said she warned the school's administrators about Wynn after he made advances towards her and offered her unwanted gifts. When police spoke to him on March 13th, he reportedly told them he's been doing some of these acts for years as a way to entertain the students. He reportedly insisted that he was just being funny and said that when he flipped a student's desk, he was just trying to help them find a lost pencil. He allegedly admitted to police that he did tell the boys in the classroom not to date the girls because they were gold diggers. Police ultimately arrested Wynn. He was charged with 7 counts of child abuse or neglect and 7 counts of unlawful contact with a minor. He posted $15,000 bail, but was told to keep away from the school and not have any contact with minors. He has also been ordered to wear an electronic monitoring system. Wynn has been employed with Clark County School District since 2007. It's unclear if he's been terminated. Okay, knife tag. Come on, kids. Let's play knife tag. You better start running. Oh, here's the one I was telling you. Here's the one. I'll be back to the chat in a minute, but I'm just going to go through this story and then we'll see, okay? Okay. So that's the Florida man who's executed for killing a young mom whose desperate 911 calls went unanswered from his car. On the night of March 17th, this Florida man was executed after spending years on death row following his murder conviction and death sentence. Michael King, 54, was executed on March 17th in Florida. King was convicted of the murder of a young woman who was married and had a child. King arred the woman and shot her in the face after her 911 calls went unanswered. He was sentenced in 2008 for the kidnapping and murder of a young woman who was married and had 2 sons. Denise Amber Lee. Oh my gosh, I think I did something about Denise Amber Lee. That name is, yes, isn't Denise Amber Lee that? Yeah, we covered Denise Amber Lee. Wasn't she the one that the father was, oh yes, he's out of his mind. He was trying to get to this is a horrible case. Denise Amber Lee was 21. She was the young mother, remember? And they thought they didn't know what happened. And we covered, this is so sad. Denise Amber Lee was 21 years old at the time of the incident. King's execution was scheduled. Her father was I believe her father was in retired police force, and they were trying like crazy to get to her. And somebody, remember that lady on the highway somebody didn't take her seriously, and so they didn't get the call. She was calling from the car. Remember that? Do you guys remember that case? Okay. He was pronounced dead at 6:13 p.m. on March 17th. It was carried out by lethal injection. Since finding Jesus in prison, I have tried to live as his disciple, obeying the two great commandments: to love God with all my heart, my mind, and all my being, and to love my neighbor, to include everyone, my family, Denise Lee's family, everyone in the gallery, he said moments before he was executed. The victim's father, her widower, husband, and her oldest son watched from the gallery above. All of Lee's family members wore pink-colored shirts. It was her favorite color. Yeah, yes, Northport, Florida. Oh my gosh, I know this case. Lee was abducted from her home in Northport, Florida. Maybe you guys remember this. On January 17, 2008, while her toddler and infant son were inside, King abducted Lee, took her to his home, where he bound and arred her, and then I think he went to a cousin's house. Yep, he went to his cousin's house to borrow a flashlight, a shovel, and a gas can while she was bound inside his car. As she managed to reach King's cell phone and dialed 911. The calls she made, along with the call from her husband and witnesses reporting the kidnapping, all went unanswered. In a voice message, Lee could be heard begging for her life so she could see her family again. Shortly after, she was shot in the face and buried in a remote area of Northport, Florida. He was arrested the same day after a state trooper recognized his 1994 Chevrolet Camaro from a description given by a 911 caller who heard screams from the car at a traffic signal, and she was calling, and oh my gosh, this is such a, even Jimmy saw this, and he was like crazy with this. And authorities say that Lee's hair and belongings were all found in King's home and vehicle. He is the fourth person to be executed in Florida this year. 2 more executions are scheduled on March 31st and April 21st. Okay, so let's go back to the chat and see what's going on. Now we've caught up on some of the stories. We've also intertwined it with some of the Nancy Guthrie stuff. And we'll see what's going on in the chat now. Hang on. Trying to get to chat. Trying to get to chat. There we are. There's chat. Okay, who's coming here? Hi, Jen Grill. Hello, Lollybird. Is it Lollybird? Hi, Amy's Justice League. How are you? Hello, Tori. How are you? Tori. No, I didn't say day 46. Did I say 76? Hi, One Eye Blind. So, okay, I'm back here. Hello, Megan Els. You're all over the place tonight. Yeah, so then you just made me check my mail about this, see if I got back about that link there. Okay. And let me check that other thing. Okay. So, anybody else have anything they want to say about Nancy or that trial tomorrow or anything that's going on? Anybody? James, are you here? Because James, you have had shout outs, please. James, you've had shout outs. Hi, Jean. How are you? Jean, you know who you are. How are you doing? What are you up to tonight? anybody that would like to call in, they have to email if you have theories on the Nancy Guthrie case, so you want to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case, or if you want to talk about anything else, you want to talk about Corey Richens, or you want to talk about... I did see an interview with a Corey Richens juror who said that when they got into the jury room, they were busting. They were busting at the seams to just let loose on whatever they thought. So they did. And what was the most compelling piece of evidence? And she said that they were all devastated because they wanted to find her innocent when they first went into there. And into that thinking, okay, well, she's innocent. And then there were so many things that spoke of her guilt and just cinched it for them that it was pretty easy to do what they did. And then they say that she's conflicted because it's sad because the 2 little boys and stuff, 3 little boys. Essentially don't have any parents. They lost their dad and their mom's gone too now. But, all for what? It drives you crazy, yeah. It's pretty much driven me like a crazy. I think unless there's something like major, because to me, it's cold case. Now it goes on the ice. It's on ice now. And maybe I'll bring about, as soon as you say something and the opposite happens, maybe there'll be an arrest tomorrow. Who knows? The Pima County Sheriff and Sally Ann Farina left the Northwest Medical Center on her own on March 14th. Has mobility issues. She's 5'7" and 100 pounds. Oh yeah, it's Ray's birthday right now. It is. Yep. Happy birthday, Ray. Yeah. I had some. What did I have? I had something right over here. Where did you go? Okay, so I don't know what they just did. Okay, I was trying to get something, but this thing is doing something wacko to me. gotta be kidding me. I asked... Okay, I'm gonna forget that. Let me just forget that. It's not listening at all. All right. Did you find many people? Did they find the people who were renting? I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea if they found the people that were renting. I think it's all, I don't know. It's just all ridiculous. I think it's gone into the cold case, and I don't know why. Like, I guess people are just wrapped up in it because they want an answer, but look at so many of them that don't get answers. And I just think the problem with this one is that there was almost 12 hours before anyone was even called, and that's a long time for someone to go somewhere far away from there and dispose of something. So even if they lived nearby, they could be gone so long without anyone looking for them, right? So anyway, that's what I think about that. And I do think it was a hit job, and it's not, that's the reason that somebody wanted her gone for something, and she was standing in the way of something. And it could even be from, she stood in the way of something some time ago that the person is still bitter about. Look at that Ohio doctor that came after how many years to kill his wife after she was married and had 2 kids, which you would think if he was that way, he wouldn't even handle her getting married, much less having 2 kids. But something could trigger it years later. Maybe something didn't work out, and then he just went right back to this. Who knows? Maybe with somebody's path she crossed a while ago, maybe they went bankrupt over something. Maybe there was some kind of a business thing that went south, and maybe she voted something. We don't know how active she was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Which, you know, she could have been. Maybe they wanted to bring something through that somebody doesn't want. And I don't know. You really don't know. That's the whole thing. You really don't know. So, now, what do we do next? I want to look at something. Remember that guy, Austin Drummond? Whatever happened to him? Remember? He in Tennessee, that guy that abandoned the baby in the car and he killed the 4 people. Remember that guy? What happened with that case? When's he going to trial? Remember that other case with the The two that were killed in that Devil's Den State Park. Remember that crazy case? They were killed broad daylight. Sarah Grace Patrick, that girl that killed her mother, that young girl. Whatever happened to that wacko that killed his 3 boys? Remember that one? When he was just sitting on the stoop with the gun. Remember that craziness? What's going on with Barry Morphew? Oh, I do have some stuff on this case right here. Have you ever heard of this woman? I do have some stuff on her, some FOIA files. I don't know what's in them, but I can tell you what I have. Kimberly Sullivan, have you ever heard of her? 56 years old, from Waterbury, Connecticut. I do have some stuff on her. This woman right here. She has been charged with multiple offenses, including second-degree kidnapping, first-degree assault, and cruelty to persons. These charges stem from the allegations that she held her stepson captive for over 20 years. The 32-year-old victim reportedly endured severe abuse and neglect since the age of 11, and he was discovered in February of 2025 weighing only 68 pounds after deliberately setting a fire in their home to attract rescuers. Anybody remember that case? I do have FOIA records on her. Some of them I have something. I have some body camera. Let me see. 56-year-old resident of Waterbury, Connecticut. According to the victim, his confinement began in childhood. He recalled that by 4th grade, he was sneaking out to scavenge for food, which led her to begin locking him in his room. Eventually, she pulled him out of school entirely, and he was only allowed out to perform household chores. Conditions worsened after his father's death in 2024. He described being locked in a small, unheated room for most of the day, deprived of adequate food and water, lacking medical care. Investigators revealed that he resorted to drinking from the toilet and eating from the trash to survive. Despite 2 wellness checks by Department of Children and Family Services and police visits in 2004, the reported abuse went unnoticed. Well, his father died in 2024. What the freak was his father doing for all those years? Authorities found a home that appeared clean and lived in, and no follow-up actions were taken. His biological mother, Tracy Valoran, gave up custody when he was 6 months old, believing he would be safe with his father. By 4th grade, he began scavenging for food at night. By 11, he was allegedly locked in a storage room. I don't even get where was his father? Okay, then, let's see. February 17th, the man set fire to his upstairs room using printer paper, hand sanitizer, and a lighter. He described it as a desperate act to gain freedom. Police discovered the emaciated 70-pound, 5'9" man with matted hair and decayed teeth. Emergency responders arrived. Sullivan escapes unharmed. She's holding a dog at the time. The man suffers smoke inhalation and burns and is hospitalized. He tells police, "I wanted my freedom." He describes the over 20 years he spent in captivity, the starvation and the abuse. He stated that his 2 stepsisters were aware of his treatment as well, but they were treated different than him as they are his stepmother's children. He said they don't live in the house anymore. Hardly anyone ever came into the house, but when they did, he was threatened into keeping quiet. He was taken to St. Mary's Hospital in critical condition. Police served a search warrant, and they confirmed the plywood and locks on his room's door. Kimberly Sullivan was arrested and charged with assault, kidnapping, and cruelty, and she was released on $300,000 bond. Her attorney denied all allegations and said she plans to plead not guilty. So on March 13th, 2025, Waterbury Police Chief Fred Spagnolo said it was the worst treatment of humanity that he has seen in 33 years of law enforcement. The man's biological mother spoke publicly, expressing shock and a desire to reconnect with her son. Then there was a court hearing scheduled. Norm Pattis, his law firm, has filed a motion. You know Norm Pattis from Fotis Dulos, right? With the Connecticut Appellate Court to argue for less restrictive bond conditions. So crazy. There's deplorable conditions like that he lived in. Absolutely deplorable. This, I guess, was the rest of her house. I don't know why this is reminding me of Mia Farrow's house. There's a rosary on the window, it looks like. Somehow. I lost that one. Let's see here. I think this was the storage room that I feel like I've heard this story, but it was a lot earlier than 2005, but there's probably a lot of stories like this, right? Let me see what I've got on this case. Hang on. Because I have Kimberly Sullivan right here. See what I've got on this case. Got a lot of photos here. Let's see what these are. It's the outside of the house. That must have been her part of the house, right? The cabinet with her dolls. Marilyn Monroe. There's that leg lamp from Christmas Story. Gosh, these are like posters you got when you were in the Scholastic Book Club and hang in there, right? Nothing in these dresser drawers, and these are like the furniture that everybody had like a little as a little girl in our age group, right? See what else there is here on her. I believe this is...
Come over here. Go down the road. Come on. Come down. Come down.
Come on, down.
Who else is in the house? Who else is in here? Do you live
My
here?
stepson is in here.
How many other
help
people?
him out.
Listen,
That's
you
it.
have to
I
go
have
in
2 cats.
Everybody's out,
Yes.
but your stepson's still inside.
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay,
yes.
come out. Come down the road. Come on. Come on.
Well,
It's not safe to stay here. Come on.
All right, here he is. All right, my dog is shaking.
I know. Come down here. That's true. 87 code 3 victim. Fire victim.
Okay.
Come on.
My dog
87's
is.
right here.
I
Come
know
on.
my dog.
I know. Come on.
I'm coming.
You've seen it. Got one victim right here. I need to stay over here. Got him?
That's that case, and I've got a bunch of paperwork on that. All right, let's see what else. Let's see if we got any, let me get this down. But that's Kimberly Sullivan. I think she's going to be, something might be happening with her case soon. Okay, let's see. Hi, Terry. Not in the care in the world about the stepson. Oh, okay, that's her, yeah. Hello, Sassy. I don't know what's happening. You're going to bed. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're just looking at some stuff. To Scooter. He always seemed like one of the happy-go-lucky ones. Is what real? Who? What happened? Who did? What's going on? What's going on? Who seemed like one of the happy-go-lucky ones? Hi, Denali. No, I don't think so. Just that they're going back to step 1 again, it seems. Hi, Nora. Terry, hi. And I heard Scooter say super chat or something. But I don't see super chat, Cat. And she's saying, oh, that was always one of the happy-go-lucky ones. What? Oh, hi, Carolyn. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Oh. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. That's... Yeah. Yeah, so that's that case, but I was going to see. I'm really hoping to get that trial tomorrow. I hope I just get my pool camera. It sounds so weird, the pool camera. They're so nice in Hawaii, though. You can't believe how nice those people are. I've spoken to them like 6 times today. The lady's like, call me anytime. I'm like, okay. Oh my gosh. She's like, I have to get the footage ready for CNN, CBS, and somewhere else. And oh my gosh, she was like the nicest lady. I keep getting this like pain in my heart, but I think it's just stress because of all the crap that is going on. Scooter, what Price is Right thing were you playing, or were you watching that documentary? Jay-Z, okay. Murda. Body of missing teen found after canoe capsized on lake. Oh. Oh. Yeah, let me see. Here's the jury's 4-person that spoke out after Corey Richens, okay? Let's see. Her first name's Laura. I think this is the one I saw. She provided an exclusive to Good Morning America in which she described what the members of the jury were thinking as they were prepared to head into deliberation. She was kind of nondescript. She didn't really show that much emotion. I was trying to get some vibe from her. It was very hard to pick up any kind of vibe, as she said. She explained that it was not difficult for the jury to come to a unanimous guilty verdict. There was never a not guilty check with anything, with any element, she said. Even though it was just 3 hours, I felt like we came into that deliberation fully loaded. To evaluate the case and to look at the evidence, we had to zoom in on these little bits of evidence and kind of ignore all the fluff and ignore the drama. Towards the end of the trial, Laura and the rest of the jury would learn the shocking news of what Corey did after poisoning her husband, the father of her 3 children. Corey played the role of a grieving widow, self-publishing a children's book on grief, and then going on local news to promote it. Everyone just felt like they were hit with a truck. We're like, what? What the H is this? It was so odd and strange. In addition to being found guilty of aggravated murder, Corey was also found guilty of attempted murder, insurance fraud, and forgery. And, you know, speaking of that, and speaking that, let me see here. Speaking that the day that my electricity went out, that we missed. Watching the verdict. So I just made a little very short video. Right here that we could watch real quick together and then feel like we did it.
One 500139, State of Utah versus Corey Richens. Counsel for the state and the defendant are present. Ms. Richens is present as well. The court is informed that the jury has reached a verdict. I do not know what it is. We'll invite the jury in a moment. When I do, I'll ask the foreperson a simple yes or no question. Have you reached a unanimous verdict? I expect that person will say yes. I'll ask them to hand the verdict to the bailiff, hand it to me. I will read the verdict. This brings me to important instruction number 1. There can be no outward reactions whatsoever to the verdict. These folks are here against their will. They, all the lawyers, Ms. Richens, every attendee, my court staff, the bailiffs, everybody deserves your respect. There simply cannot be any outward reactions.
She looks scared stiff, huh?
You have to keep your hands folded in your lap. If you feel overcome with emotion, just look down. We cannot have any outward reaction. Second, once the verdict is read and the jury is discharged, you need to stay seated and follow the deputy's instructions about how we will leave the courtroom in an orderly fashion.
Okay.
If anybody in here can't follow these instructions, this is your chance to leave. All right. Fair warning, counsel, Ms. Richens, it is my practice to ask all the lawyers and the defendant to stand in respect for the jury as I read the verdict. I just don't want you to be surprised. Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, are we ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis.
We are.
All right.
She's not too smug because she knows that quick verdict like that is not good. It's not good. Take an aspirin? Oh, for my chest? For my... I don't think I have aspirin. Could be my anemia too.
Folks, please have a seat as you come in. Please have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, would the foreperson you've selected please stand? May I ask you a yes or no question? Has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
Yes, we have.
Would you please hand the verdict form to the deputy, and you can have a seat. Thank you. I'll take that.
That's the shirt that she's wearing the day she becomes a convicted murderer.
All right. Counsel, Ms. Richens, please stand. Count 1, aggravated murder. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richens, is guilty of aggravated murder. We, the jury, unanimously agree that the prosecution has proved the following circumstance or circumstances regarding count 1 beyond a reasonable doubt. The homicide was committed for pecuniary gain, and the homicide was committed by means of the administration of any substance administered in a lethal amount, dosage, or quantity. Count 2, attempted aggravated murder. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richens, is guilty of attempted aggravated murder.
I'm surprised not one of the
We,
employees.
the jury, unanimously agree the prosecution
attorneys
has
is
proved
putting
the
their arm
following
around her,
circumstance or
rubbing her
circumstances
back the way
regarding
they
count
normally
2
do, you know?
beyond a reasonable doubt. The attempted homicide was committed for pecuniary gain. Count 3, insurance fraud. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richens, is guilty of insurance fraud. Count 4, insurance fraud. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richens, is guilty of insurance fraud. Count 5, forgery. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richens, is guilty of forgery. It's signed by the foreperson. Please have a seat. Madam Foreperson, is this the verdict that the jury reached unanimously?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you may have a seat. Ms. Lewis, Ms. Nestor, do you wish the jury to be polled?
Yes, please.
All right. Folks, I'll ask you the same yes or no question, one at a time, starting on my left, working this way. Front row first. If you could show me your lanyard number as I ask you. Juror number 5, is this the verdict you voted in favor of?
Yes.
Juror number 4, is this the verdict you voted in favor of? Juror number 3. I can't see your name, I'm so sorry. The foreperson, I just need to ask you again, I'm sorry. Juror number 2.
Yes, it is.
Juror number 1.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir. Juror number 8.
Yes.
Juror number 7. Juror number 6.
Yes, Terry, they'll
All right.
speak at sentencing.
Counsel, is there anything further on this case before the jury is discharged? Mr. Bloodworth.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this trial is now finished. Thank you for your service. The American system of justice relies on your time and your sound judgment, and you have been generous with both. You serve justice by your fair and impartial decision. All of my previous admonitions are now lifted. You may speak about this case with anyone or with no one at all. It is entirely up to you. You might be contacted in the future by the press or by the lawyers. You do not have to talk with them or with anyone else, but you may if you would like. The choice is yours entirely. I'm now turning to the attorneys and instructing them to honor your wishes as officers of the court if you indicate that you do not want to talk about this case. If you do talk about the case, please respect the privacy of your fellow jurors. The confidences they may have shared with you during deliberation are not yours to share with others. Thank you, all of you, for your service. Please rise for the jury. All right, please have a seat.
That's her mother right there.
Ms. Lewis, we need to get a pre-sentence investigation report, and we need to set sentencing. I imagine, Mr. Bloodworth, that the state would request that that be special set.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I didn't see this because I was so upset.
Ms.
that they-
Lewis, does defendant waive the 45-day limit for sentencing?
Yes, we will.
All right. Let me call my calendar.
Remind me to tell you about Mackenzie Sherlock in a minute. That's her mother.
Should we be looking in May, Ms. Lewis?
That's fine.
Do you have a sense of it, Mr. Bloodworth? April is not possible. In May, do you have a sense of when would be appropriate?
Your Honor, can I step back and talk to the victim's family?
Sure. And Ms. Lewis, if you need a moment to confer with anyone.
No.
Your Honor, any day in May works.
Without having to move something, which I am, of course, willing to do, I could do it during the week of May 25 or the morning of May 13. But if those times don't work, or if the week of May 25 is too far out, I'll move something to accommodate council schedules. Ms. Lewis, why don't I begin with you?
Either of those days would work for the defense.
Is a morning enough time?
Yes, sir.
For all their
Ms.
victims'
Lewis.
impact statements? I don't know.
We'll set sentencing for 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, May 13. We're hereby referring Ms. Richens for the preparation of a pre-sentence investigation report. Ms. Lewis, anything else on the record today?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bloodworth.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Richens, I'll see you again, May 13, 9:30 a.m. I need everyone to stay seated, follow the instructions of the Summit County deputies. The court is in recess. Travel safely.
That's it. Oh boy, yeah, that looked, that was, that was, now, what did you want me to, oh, let me just tell you something about Mackenzie Shrilla. Who knows Mackenzie Shrilla here? Zigzag, what case did you come here on? Did you come here with Shrilla? How many people came here with Shrilla? Shrilla, did you hear what happened with her appeal? She lost her appeal. Do you know why? They filed her appeal 1 day late. 1 day late. So it was automatically denied. Yeah. You did make those. I can't. Zigzag, what case did you come here on? Because you came here on... What case? How did you find us, Zigzag? What case did you start following with us? But it wasn't a leap year this year, was it? It was denied. She must be livid, beyond livid. Right? She must be beyond livid. Hope a little. I have to do some check over here on something real quick. Okay, so now what case are you want me to look up, Bink, here? Let me see what you got here. Salmaron. Okay, so Iris Salmaron, a 27-year-old California woman facing 4 counts of murder and DUI. Iris Salmaron. Charges following a July 2025 fiery high-speed crash on 605 freeway in Norwalk that killed 4 people, currently out on $8.1 million. Oh, she's held on $8.1 million of bail after prosecutors allege she plowed into a disabled vehicle at over 100 miles an hour. Salmaron is charged with 4 counts of murder and multiple felony counts of DUI causing injury. She's accused of driving over 100 miles per hour into a car that was already disabled in the HOV lane due to a previous collision with a suspended California Highway Patrol officer, Angelo Rodriguez. Prosecutors presented video evidence showing Salmaron stumbling at a gas station roughly 20 to 30 minutes before the crash and driving on a curb. During her court appearance in March 2026, she appeared distraught while facing charges that could lead to life in prison. Former California Highway Patrol officer Angelo Rodriguez is also charged with 4 counts of murder for his role in the chain reaction crash. Yeah, it's probably the anemia. I'm just looking it up. Just hold on a minute. I'm going to take an extra iron tablet. Hold on one second. I'm just going to get another iron tablet. Hang on. Oh, I just want some crackers to take with this so my stomach doesn't get upset. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have some anemia, some bad anemia right now. I think that's what's causing this chest pain. Plus, there's some stuff that I can't talk about yet that they're trying to do because every time my son's birthday comes up, it seems they try their crap. But we'll get past it. Instead of getting him help, he didn't put on any flashers or flares and got himself off the freeway. Yeah, I made Hershey's chocolate chewy cookies. Yeah, Ethan took a bunch back to college. So if anybody wants to call in about any of this stuff, you're free to call in. I have very, very bad anemia right now. So there she comes at 100 miles an hour and hits them, and the car goes up in flames. And 4 people died, right? Crazy. Try to it's Ray's birthday today, and I was trying to get a nice picture, but let me just ask this other thing. Salma Roberts, the driver, and she's female. Right. Yeah, not male, right. $37. Mm-hmm. Be 37. Good night, Terry. I don't see Terry going to bed. Oh, you said right, Terry. I thought you said good night, Terry. I was like, I don't see Terry going to bed. Do something that's driving me crazy. was trying to do something, but it's not working. Let me see. Alright, it's not gonna work. Okay, this is stupid. I was trying to do something, but it's not going to work out. All right. I'm sorry. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was just trying to do something, but it didn't work out. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I just talk low so you know that I'm here, but I wasn't talking to anybody. I was just kind of just talking. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that there's ads, but yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you about ads. That's how it is on regular TV too. The ads are always louder. Oh, she had lights. The cops didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So, I think that's about it. If nobody wants to call in, then, oh, okay. Sorry, I thought, it's okay. So, if anybody wanted to call in, you can call in. If you don't want to call in, you don't have to call in. But, let me just see. I'm just trying to see if don't know, it made this like really hokey thing that I didn't want, but it won't make me what I wanted, so. I had something really nice, but it wouldn't stop changing him, making him a different person. I didn't understand why it's stupid thing doing that. It's Gabby Petito's birthday too today. She has the same birthday. I can't anymore, Bink. Remember? You'll have to have Scooter. Yeah, I can't do it anymore. Ask Scooter, she can do it. Thanks, Megan Elsa. Anyway, happy birthday to Ray, happy birthday to Gabby Petito. You should subscribe to Two Scooters channel, Terry? You shouldn't, because she's not here. Go unsubscribe real fast. You were just being nice. Where did Scooter go? She just left. She probably. So. Anyway. I don't know. I hope I find out about that trial tomorrow. Let's see if I heard anything. I don't think I'm going to hear from the person that I need to hear until the morning. But it wouldn't be on until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, our time. Because it's on Hawaii time. I could use some Hawaii time right now. Scooter doesn't like you? Oh. She doesn't like anybody. You got to get back and get the number where you can get the number. Everybody's in bed early, I guess. Can I share a funny story? Yeah, I can. Okay, we once had this dog, Milo, who was a half Basset Hound and a half Beagle that we rescued. And he had a little leg that was like crazy, but it never stopped him from getting around. And he found this beaver once, this dead beaver. And he brought it up to the house, and he was rolling around in it, and it stunk like crazy, right? So we would bathe him, and we'd take that beaver, and they'd haul it off somewhere out to the woods. And the next day when I would come home from work, the beaver would be on the lawn again, and the dog would be all stinky again. And we went through this for like 3 days, right? And about the 4th day, I said, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. We've taken this beaver so far off in the woods, and this dog just keeps bringing this beaver back like it's the greatest thing. So I said to Ray, I have an idea. And he said, what? And I said, just grab a garbage bag and follow me, and I'll get the shovel. So I told him to hold the garbage bag, and I'd get the shovel and put the beaver in the garbage bag. Okay, so he goes, if you touch me with that beaver, I said, okay, fine, I'll hold the garbage bag, you do the shovel. So he gets the beaver in there. Then he goes, now what are we doing with it? I said, well, let's go to my van, and we're going to take the passenger window and roll it down a little bit, stick a part of the bag in and roll it up so that the bag is on the outside of the car. And then him and I drove and drove and drove, I don't know, to this like vacant forest craziness, right? And I said, now just grab that bag and just wing it over your head and hurl that thing as far as you can hurl that. And so he did. And I said, if the dog brings this back after this, that's it. The dog can go and have it. So we called that our beaver run. And the dog never found that beaver. Never. Yeah, it was disgusting. I tried. I can't invite you again because... Hold on. I'll try. Watch. It'll say you're already there. Okay. You're already there. Twice you're there. You're there twice. You're there twice. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you can't. You just have to go and sign in again. Let me see if I can get the sign in. Do you have a new email? Can invite you again as a new email. Do you have a new email? If you email me, but I don't know. The whole new man of Leave It to Beaver, yeah. You bet the dog was sad. Yeah. Hey, that's my beaver. Where are you going with that? Where are you guys taking that? I just brought that back. Yeah, I thought he was doing something so great. I found it out in the woods again. I can't believe it. I don't know how it keeps getting out there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That beaver. But I really want to broadcast that trial tomorrow, so I really hope that that comes through for us. Just the most bizarre thing that the court doesn't give the thing, and that you have to get the journalist to. It's so weird. What was that? I had a dream about something last night. What was it? Somebody got married to somebody. Oh, yeah, I think I know it. Good night, Jen. So I have to bake a cake today. I want to bake a cake today. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake today. Just take a little look if there's anything else before we play the word game. And what time is already 2 o'clock? I can't believe it. Let's see if there's anything else before we I knew there was something else I wanted to show you. This guy. I think he was a stand-up comedian from Arizona. Hold on a minute. And he had terminal illness, and okay. He had recently been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he traveled thousands of miles to Alaska, and he opened fire on his ex-wife before he died a day later in the woods. 61-year-old Matthew Becker waited outside his ex-wife's hair salon in Anchorage on Saturday before shooting her. She survived the attack after running towards nearby businesses for safety. After the shooting, investigators say Becker went to the home where his former father-in-law, 87-year-old Romaine Clark, lived in the Airport Heights area. Officials believe he shot Clark through a rear window. Clark later died, so he killed her father, okay? He tried to shoot her. She survived. He went to the house of her 87-year-old father and shot him through a window. He was facing charges of first-degree murder and third-degree assault before his own death. They divorced in 2020, Okay, he's carried that for 6 years. Becker's ex-wife told investigators she feared for her father's safety after escaping the salon shooting. Authorities believe Becker went directly to the residence and fired shots through the window at the back of the house. He had plans that day for an outing, and he was discovered before police arrived. A day after the shootings, Becker was reportedly found dead in a wooded area of Eagle River. His brother confirmed the discovery and stated that the cause of death remains unknown. Authorities have not released further details on how Becker died. But he was recently diagnosed with terminal cancer. Becker's brother said he previously worked as a stand-up comedian and owned a comedy club called Chuckleheads in Bisbee. Crazy, right? Craziness. I don't know what the heck is wrong with people. Let's see what else we have. Investigation into Nancy's Guthrie disappearance much harder as 45 days have passed. Really? No shade, Sherlock. Kidding me? I'm trying to see if there's any. Shaquille O'Neal paid for a 12-year-old girl's funeral. She died after a fight at a school bus stop. Oh my gosh. Family of a U.S. college student missing in Barcelona pleads for information. My goodness, Haley Seinfeld is pregnant. He's going to be, wow. Let's see what else we have. Georgia teen killer takes a plea deal. Mormon wives Demi responds to rumors that her husband was her babysitter. Wow. So what else we have? Not too much going on. Let me see here. Yesterday there were so many stars in the sky and they were like twinkling all different colors. The sky was unbelievable. And I kept looking for the guys that were working on the electric. The sky was really electric. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't see so much. That's about it. And then it'll be like, oh, I just saw something. Let me just check one more thing here. A gondola crashed down on a, what is that? Oh shoot, it looks like on a Swiss resort. Killing, let me see what happened there. Now of course I can't find it again. Oh yeah, one killed as a cable car plunged down a Swiss mountainside. Oh, that's scary. Not nice. I saw the Denver airport was like full of people, I guess, with the MacDill lifts shelter in place as elevated security. Let's see. Meningitis cases are rising, it says. Yeah, TSA delays, the airports that have the most delays. Delays. Oh, there's an 11-year-old that was charged with, I guess, murder. I think of his 5-year-old sister or brother. Trying to see if there's anything else we've been missing with all this, with the power outage and Nancy Guthrie and Corey Richens saturation, right? I want to check one other place here. Told you about the realtor. Let's see. Comedian, yeah, we just told you about him. Florida execution, I went over that. Oh, here's another one that used his babysitter turned mistress in the shooting of his in-laws. Right, that's like Banfield used the au pair turned mistress to kill his wife. These two oh, come on, get over there. These two right here. Dan Serafini's babysitter turned mistress, accomplice in shooting of in-laws, sentenced after testifying against the major league. And it worked the same way. The nanny testified against Brendan Banfield, and the babysitter here testified against the former MLB, Major League Baseball star. I remember this case. The former babysitter and later mistress of Dan Serafini managed to avoid additional jail time. Now, she got a sweetheart of a deal too, right? For her role in the 2021 shootings of his in-laws, Gary Spoor and Wendy Wood. Samantha was sentenced to 2 years probation in Placer County Court this week after pleading guilty to a felony charge of being an accessory after the fact in a deal with prosecutors. The deal was predicated on her providing crucial testimony during the Major League Baseball player's murder trial last summer. Scott drove Serafini to Lake Tahoe on the day he shot his in-laws, and months later he would confess to her that he had shot his mother-in-law twice in the head. Scott kept the confession and her role in the killings a secret until after she and Serafini were arrested in November of 2023. It was only after prosecutors charged her with murder that she flipped on him and agreed to testify against him at trial. He is now serving multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole. She was first questioned by investigators November of 2021, just a few months after the shooting, and at the same time, authorities executed a search warrant at her home, and they were able to obtain her phone records, which revealed she had been near the Homewood, California residence of the in-laws, Spoor and Wood, on the day they were shot. It was those cell phone records that allowed police to start building their case against Serafini. Scott then told Serafini about the interview and said a search warrant had been executed at her home, and testified that after she did, he confessed to her that he'd shot Wood twice in the head at point-blank range. That admission made Scott the star witness at Serafini's 6-week trial, which ended with a conviction on murder and attempted murder back in July. But you know what's so weird is that she didn't kill anyone the way what's her name did. What the heck is her name now? That other nanny. What the heck was her name? Juliana. Mega lies. Prosecutors argued at trial that Serafini turned off his cell phone on the day of the shooting, noting that he would send upwards of 100 text messages that day, per day, but did not send any texts on the day of the shooting. Scott has long maintained that she believed Serafini was traveling to Lake Tahoe to purchase a large quantity of cocaine on the day of the shooting. And that's why she did not turn off her phone, and why investigators were able to place her car a mile from the crime scene. Scott's testimony was bolstered by surveillance footage from a motel in Elka, Nevada, which showed both she and Serafini had been together the previous night. Prosecutors say that Serafini carried out the shooting after being dropped off by Scott near the victim's $3.5 million Lake Tahoe home after sneaking into the residence while the victims were out on their boat with his now ex-wife, Erin Spoor, and their 2 young sons. The fact that he entered the home in the middle of the day while the 3 cars in the driveway, investigators found no evidence of forced entry or anything being stolen, led them to believe the shooter knew the victims. He's believed to have killed his in-laws in order to gain access to their $23 million estate, which would have been split between their 2 daughters, Erin and Adrian. Okay, so the home would have been split between their 2 daughters, Erin and Adrian. In the end, Erin received none of that money. Wood disinherited Erin, and what? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, his wife and sister. So his wife was Erin. Now listen to this one. In the end, Erin received none of that money. Wood disinherited Erin, and then she took her own life in February 2023, nearly 2 years after she was shot. That's crazy. Wait a minute. Erin's mother, his ex-wife's mother, disinherited her daughter. Here's a picture of all 4 of them. Okay. So here he is. Here's the 2 in-laws that he killed, and here's his ex-wife now. She would have inherited their money with her sister, but her mother, I guess, who survived, being shot 2 times in the head, disinherited her daughter, and then took her own life. Erin still does own half of her parents' Lake Tahoe home, which was put in a trust in her name back in 2017. She has also continued to stand by her husband despite their divorce. And the 2, along with Scott, are also facing a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Erin's sister, Adrian, 4 months before Serafini's arrest. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazier and crazier. Both the ex-wife and the babysitter are standing with Serafini, and her sister is suing her for wrongful death. That's probably why the mother disinherited her, because she was still standing by her ex-husband, right? Who shot the father. What? Oh, what the heck? That is so freaking weird. That is a one weird case, okay. That is weird. Did you get that? Hello, pretty girl. Oh boy. You appear on Scooter and Carolyn's videos. She makes guest appearances. Well, I guess it's time to do word cookies and go to bed. Nobody cares about me. Okay. Let's do word cookies. That's okay. I love you too, Bink. Good night, Terry. What'd you get? Tile? Yeah, good zigzag. Oh, I'm so cold. Tile is good. Tile is good. That's a good bingo. That's a very good bingo. Tile. Cult. Yeah, cult. Very good, zigzag. Very good. Very, very good. And we did it. We did it. Let's see where we are. Oh, we got to play the ones we missed. We've got to play the ones we missed when the lights were out. When the night the lights went out in Georgia. That's the night that they... Aura. Extra word. Four. Yeah, that's going to be there, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Fog, right? Fog. What do you have? Four. Or I tried, and I tried those. They're not there. Look. They're not there. Oh, or. It's got to be or. And then, ouch, ouch. What could this be? Oof. Okay, and then what did you say? Growth? Graph? Growth? What did you say? Graph, yeah, they're not there. Fargo? Yeah, I tried Fargo. It's not there. Oh, Roar. Would be Roar there, right? Farrago? Oh, you got it. Good, Murder. Good job. We have to do one more daily to make up for the ones we missed. Scene says zigzag. Yes, I'll stop. I know some, but let's see. Eel says zigzag. Very good. C says zigzag. Yeah, I got C. You got another one with your eel word. Senses says Murder. You fill up my senses. Very good. And sense. Common. Rare. Lenses. Right, and lens. Come on, what else you got, guys? What else you got? Zigzag, take the one word you made and put an S on it. Oh, Murder already did it. Murder already did it. I know what the other one is. It's just put an S on it. Somebody put an S on it, and you get C's. All right, let's see where we are in the advancement age. Let's see. Wow, I just saw that. Engine number 9. Engine number 9. Very good, murder. Engine number 9. What do you have? Beige? Beige. Very good. One more. Is it? Ugh. I wonder if it's... No. What do you got? What do you get? I tried 9 or zigzag. Yeah, it wasn't there. Genie. Murder doesn't know it. Murder, you don't know it. Murder. Murder. I got it in her. Oh, murder got it after me. Sorry, murder. We can try this one. It says it's not. We're almost ready for an advancement. We could see what happens. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs, right? Cloud, yeah. Could, very good. Lucky? No K. Yeah, almost. Almost. Clodhoppers. Right? Oh, how about oldie? Oh. Duo. Loud, yeah. Ollie and Ollie. Gold. No. There's no G. Duly, like duly sworn, right? Doul. Ludo? Ludo, Chris? Ludo. Ludo, very good murder. Cloud. Didn't we do Cloud? I thought we did. I thought we had Cloud in there. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Free, yeah, you got free. Fern, where the red fern grows, yeah. And then you can probably go ferns too. Freshman. Very good. Fresh, yes, fresh, fresh, fresh. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Freshen. Very good. Mesh, says zigzag. Yep, very good. Sheer. Martin Bashir. Sheen. Very good. Extra word. Here, says. Right. Yeah, I got here's its extra word. Reefs, reefs. I make nice reefs. Hers. Very good. We had her. Sheer we had, don't we? Yeah, we do. Hers. Thought we had that. We do. Oh, I know. I know. Hen and hens. And you say hemp, we don't have a P. Sneer. Very good, we did it guys, we did it. Teamwork makes the dream works. Oh, we'll have to leave this one for tomorrow, right? We'll have an advancement after 2 of these. I say that as I'm sitting there doing, starting it, right? Oh my gosh. Tone. And toner. Croon. Tune, tenor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Coot. Root. 2. Eon. Very good. Cot. Yep, got that. Cot. We got that. Net. Once. Toe. Talk. I tried that. Ore, iron ore, chromium steel, yep. On to, yeah. That's got to be it. We did it. We did the hard one. The three of us did it. Teamwork. We do this one, we get an advancement. We're not a cucumber anymore. And then we play one more and then we're done for the night. So you always have to play the one after. In. Go zigzag. Into. Very good. Anoint, yes. Anon. Very good. Ion, right? You got it too, murder. Nanu. We're so close to our advancement. Oh boy. So close. Very good. Very good. One more. Let's see. Nonna? Iota, yeah. That's it. Okay, we gotta play one more game. Now, what are we gonna turn into? What are we gonna turn into? We're oregano. We went from lettuce to like something else to cucumber. Now we're oregano. Oh, we gotta play this one. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be hard. Yeah, we need another N for that. Very good, murder. Ice. Very good. Fence. Very good. Niece. Very good. Very, very good. Pain. Kane. That's it. Perfect. We did it. We did our first one after the advancement. We really did it tonight. Thank you, guys. That was great. Tomorrow we'll have more to do. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. God bless. Prayers. See you tomorrow. Everybody be good. And may the Lord bless you and protect you and give you his peace, and stay well till we see each other again. Should be soon. I'm hoping to have that trial. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed, and say some extra prayers for me if you can, because I'm going through a lot right now. But I'll pray for you guys. Love you.